With Wave 6 coming towards the end of this year, we are finally going to be done with the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Pass DLC. And of course, a lot of those tracks are already known, and there's lots of videos out there for you to watch of people predicting them and using the data mine leak in order to figure out what's left. But forget all of that for this video. For this sake, we're not talking about data mines, leaks, or any information that would make sense for this next Wave 6. Because this is the ultimate wave that I think would be the greatest tracks to bring back. I also used the help of you guys and asked for your favorite tracks and incorporated some of those in this list, so I cultivated all the remaining tracks and made the ultimate final wave. Now, before we get started, I did not include any tour tracks. That means any remaining city or nitro tracks, such as Rome Avanti, Piranha Plant Cove, and Piranha Plant Pipeline. Still weird that we're getting 2 Piranha Plants at the end of this. But I also did not include Wii Rainbow Road, as it seems that that might still be included, and a lot of people are saying that it's happening. And Bowser's Castle 3 SNES is another one that a lot of people are saying is coming and was built to be a Mario Kart 8 track because of an anti-grav section. But yeah, those will not be included in this list because let's face it, everybody in the world wants Rainbow Road on the Wii, and it's probably going to happen regardless. But if you're excited to see this ultimate wave, stop what you're doing, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to help us reach 250,000 subscribers. A lot of you right now are not yet subscribed, so it'll only take a second. Please feel free to help out the channel. Thank you so much for your recent support, guys. But before we get started, today's video is sponsored by the Purr Festival, which is a perfect festival for those of you cat lovers, which is an entire festival full of cat-themed video games. I mean, how cool can that be? There's RPGs, 2D and 3D platformers, puzzle games, and the best part is every single game shown here is cat-themed. These games also have huge eShop discounts for over 80% off on select titles, which means you can splurge and just fill your library full of the perfect games. The greatest part is all these indie developed games shown here can be played and purchased on the Nintendo Switch straight from the eShop. The event has already started from August 7th and runs through August 21st, so you still have time to dive in and get some amazing deals on these cat-themed games. So if you're itching to get your hands on some cat-themed games, definitely do so now during the Purr Festival. And big thanks to the Purr Festival and Red Deer Games for sponsoring today's video. Starting the Acorn Cup, we have Toad's Factory from Mario Kart Wii. Just a serious classic, and it's sad that it hasn't really returned in much of any other future installments. It's one of those few tracks that's just been left on the Wii and is not going to return, it looks like, anytime soon, as we might only have one more Mario Kart Wii track left, and lots of people are saying it's Rainbow Road from that game. But Toad's Factory was pretty unique. It was a factory for one, which we never really got, and it had tons of moving parts, ramps, and it was cool that you got shot back to the outside with the mud ramp area. Not to mention the soundtrack from this track was so good. It was one of the best from Mario Kart Wii, and it's just a track that a lot of people resonate with, and a lot of people would love to see return from that game. Next up, we have Luigi's Mansion from the DS, which is still surprising that it did not make the cut because the Luigi's Mansion franchise is turning into a huge one for Nintendo. I mean, Luigi's Mansion 3 is selling like absolute hotcakes, so it's crazy that they didn't even think about bringing this one back. Now, based on the data mine, we know that the DS games are pretty much done, but still, we need Luigi's Mansion. How does Luigi not really have a themed track in Mario Kart 8, like, at all? Like, come on, Nintendo. Especially Luigi's Mansion, it just fits perfectly. Next, we have Dino Jungle from the GameCube. Now, this one's interesting because there is in-game advertisement for this track in, I think, Squeaky Clean Sprint, but in the same vein, we've also seen in-game advertisement for Vanilla Lake and haven't seen that yet. So there's a chance that maybe Dino Jungle doesn't make the cut. But it is a really unique track that takes us back to prehistoric days, with giant dinosaurs all over the map and pterodactyls flying around. It's a really cool themed map, and I really would love to see it return, and it's one of those fan favorites again. It has returned a couple times within some of the future installments, so seeing it in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe would not surprise me. For the final track of the Acorn Cup, we have Mushroom Bridge from the GameCube. Now, there's a good chance that Mushroom Bridge could return. It also just recently came to Mario Kart Tour, but man, I love this track. Do we have enough city tracks in this game? Oh, definitely. But at the same time, Nintendo definitely doesn't seem like they're done with them, as they just added Moonview Highway of all tracks from the Wii. So there's a very good chance that this track, Mushroom Bridge from the GameCube, could make a return as well. Nintendo loves their city tracks in this game, it's safe to say. But as far as city tracks go, it's a classic. It's one that I've always really loved. I love the music and I just love the aesthetic of this course. I can't really explain it because overall when you look at it, it's nothing extremely special, but it's just a really vibey track. And yes, I guess nostalgia has a little bit of play on it as well. Starting the Spiny Cup, we have kind of two of them, both coming from Mario Kart 7, Woohoo Loop and Maka Woohoo. Both of these kind of touring the island and the mountain. Which one do they choose? Why not both? Yeah, I know, that'd be an incredibly long track, but come on. Just one time, give us just one super mega long track. That could be fun, just kind of touring the entire island, and then the daytime changes as sun starts going down, like Sunset Wilds was supposed to, but then it eventually goes to the sunset at the end, and at night the same way. Oh, that'd be so cool, just one giant track. I don't care, Nintendo, you can make it happen. There's some way you can make this a reality. I think these tracks were just really cool to be referencing Wii Sports Resort, and it's just a beautiful island to go around on, and I think a lot of people just have nostalgia for this island, and this was a really cool themed track for Mario Kart 7. Let's put them both together and make one really cool, unique one. I mean, that would be awesome. Of course, the one that you heard me talk about so much and the rest of the Mario Kart community. It is such a big bummer that we're not going to be getting Airship Fortress from Mario Kart DS. This track was so innovative, jumping from ship to ship, and there's bullet bills and Monty Moles, different enemies all over the track, and fire traps, and then you blast into a castle tower, going all the way back down it like a spiral staircase. It was such a unique track, and probably one of the most unique ones that we've seen so far. And the fact that it's not going to make a return in like the ultimate version of Mario Kart with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it hurts my soul so bad. It's such a beautiful track, and it is going to be hard to swallow the fact that we can't play this on Mario Kart 8, but maybe in the future, there could be a way that this is brought back. Who knows? Next, we have DK Mountain from Double Dash. Now, there is a really good chance that we could still get DK Mountain. It just was added to Tour as well, and it's just such a really basic themed track, like going up a volcano and back down, but it's so cool. Like, it's probably one of the coolest Donkey Kong tracks of them all. The fact that you blast from a barrel all the way to the top and then go all the way back down a very steep mountain with boulders falling down as well, and giant chasms and gaps at the end, makes it not only a really fun, interesting track, but a very challenging one as well that will even test the greatest of drivers, that you'll have to hit some really hard drifts to make sure that you don't fall off. And yeah, you can even cheat it and skip some of these gaps if you hit your jumps right. It's a really cool track, and I really do hope that we see it return. I really do think there's a good chance. And the final track we added was Bowser's Castle from the GameCube. Now, once again, odds are we're going to be getting Bowser's Castle 3 from the SNES, but the GameCube one was one that you guys voted for. I put a whole bunch of other choices for you guys, and you chose Bowser's Castle because it's just such a unique version of the castle. You have lots of long corridors with things that could hit you like thwomps and fireballs everywhere, not to mention a really cool zigzag ending as a giant statue of Bowser is breathing fire at you. It seems pretty typical for Bowser's castles, but there was just something about this one that felt more unique. It felt more skillful in order to maneuver through this place as well, and it was a really good Bowser's Castle, and for sure my favorite Bowser's Castle as well. Not to mention, it was a very long track. I mean, seriously, each lap was well over a minute, which also in my eyes made it unique. I can dig some long tracks every now and then, and we don't have too many of them in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, so this would be a really cool one. Not to mention, we really didn't get any Bowser's Castles through the DLC so far, so yeah, this would definitely be my pick. Now, we do have some honorable mentions that didn't quite make the cut, but these were all other ones that you guys voted for as well and would love to see in a wave, so I added them down below. Here's 5 potential others. We have Wario Coliseum from the GameCube, which is just so wacky and crazy. I really do wish they added this one. There's so many hard turns and spinning around and going crazy within like this giant cage, which is really cool. Delfino Square from the DS. As a Mario Sunshine fan, it hurts that this still isn't in the game. At least we do have Sunshine Airport, but it's not the same than going through actual Delfino Square, even though it wasn't like the actual Delfino Square from the game. Luigi Circuit from the Game Boy Advance was another really good track because it had some really cool vibes to it. I liked how it was raining and you were near like the weather station. It'd be another basic classic track with no elevation, but at the same time, it'd be one that I'd be down to see again. Wario Stadium from Mario Mario Kart 64. This is one that a lot of people wanted to see return because we never really ever saw this one get a remake or a remaster, or, you know, I guess you could say there's been different types of Coliseums and stuff for Wario, but nothing along the lines of the original Wario Stadium from Mario Kart 64. Finally, a lot of you guys were saying Bowser's Castle from the Wii. Now, personally, I don't see this one as much because it almost feels like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe did the same version, but a little bit better, in my opinion, with its Bowser's Castle. So this one I could do with or without. I mean, once again, you have a center section where there is a giant statue spitting things at you, and you choose the left or the right. So it's kind of the same situation. I guess a lot of Bowser's Castles are like this, but yep, here's another one in case you guys were looking for it. Those are all the tracks that would make for a super wave for Wave 6 that would end the game on such an extremely high note. But of course, that's not reality. We still have Tour Track City, and we have Nitro tracks as well, including other things like Bowser's Castle 3 from the SNES and probably Rainbow Road from Mario Kart Wii. So there's still a lot that we know that's going to come, and unfortunately a lot of these aren't going to make the cut, which is ultimately going to be very sad. But let me know what you thought about this wave. Of course, it's not going to be perfect for everybody because it's just literally impossible to make the perfect wave because everybody else has different opinions. But let me know what you think about this and what you would have replaced or added for yourself. And thank you so much for tuning in to the end of the video. Stop what you're doing, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things Mario Kart and Nintendo in general. And like always, I'll see you all on the next one. See you guys.